Hi guys, thanks for watching this week's edition of Why Wednesday. We're back and it's exciting. And so I will let my guest introduce himself and kind of what he's doing and who he's working for.
My name is David Murken. I'm an account executive for Modern Litho out of Jefferson City, Kansas City, and St. Louis.
Amazing. So can you kind of talk a little bit high level? What do you guys do? Kind of what's that bread and butter of?
We have a unique application where we've got a press that's designed to run short-run magazines that are personalized to a very targeted market. For example, animals, cows that are hybrids or breeds, specialty tractors that people have restored. We do a lot of food magazines, wine magazines. We actually do a special bourbon magazine. So we do a lot of things like that. We do a lot of marketing materials, and any sort of printed material can be handled across the board for us.
Well, that's amazing. Well, now I'm hungry and I want some bourbon. So thanks, Dave. So talk to a little bit about ideal customer, or I sometimes I phrase, I go, hey Dave, I'm giving you a call. I heard that you guys are in this. Here's what we're trying to accomplish. And as I'm like talking, you are getting that kid in a candy store kind of giddy because you have solutions that could help us. Can you kind of paint kind of what are some of the questions or some of the things that people are saying that trigger and go, I need to be talking to you like yesterday?
We love complex projects. Especially in the publishing industry, the niche magazines, the unique things that other people are going to look at and say, that just doesn't really fit us. We've got experienced staff members who have been in the business for 30 and 40 years that are really, really good at what they do. We've designed some of our equipment to handle those types of projects. I've always been the guy that if there was something weird and unusual in print, we'd figure out a way to do it. And whether it fit our equipment or not, from a production standpoint, we have the knowledge and the experience to figure out how it can get the effect that the end client is looking for. So that's what gets me excited.
Well, awesome. So Why Wednesday, and the reason that everybody should be watching, hopefully, is they want to find out a little bit of what is getting you up. So David, what is that why? What's that driving thing? We live in Iowa, so sometimes it's negative 30 degrees wind chill, and you're like, I get to get out of bed because I love what I do. What's that driving force for you?
The driving force for me is being able to help other people. I'm a big fan of Zig Ziglar, and one of his statements that he made was, if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And being able to help people and share my knowledge that I've accumulated over the last couple years, it's fun to be able to share that and help people achieve what they want to do. I love working with designers, creative people. Always ask the question, why and what if? If they're going to get into something and do something that is really creative, that's awesome. We love the creativity, we love the creative stuff, but trying to understand what they're trying to accomplish also helps us so that we can say, hey, if you did it this way, you could still get that same effect, but it may save you some money. Mm-hmm. That's always a fun thing to be able to do and to be part of that process.
Yeah, and even since I've known you, one of my favorite conversations that we've ever had is those things where you're in places where you go, what if? Like just not being I don't know, hindered by the here's how we've always done it, or this is efficient, so good, but what if? What if we could do better? What if we could do this? And so I've always loved those conversations.
I had that whole premise started. I was working with an ad agency up in Mason City, and they were winning all kinds of awards and stuff. And we were at a party one night, and I asked the president of the agency, I said, what makes you guys different? What's the differentiator for you? And he says, well, we'll go through the whole creative process. And he says, they'll do the presentation, and he says it comes down to two words. We'll get all done with the presentation, and then he says, I just sit there and say, what if? And he said, and you get these great creative people and business people going, well, yeah, we could do this, we could do that, and it just takes it to that next level. And that's what I've always enjoyed doing, is trying to take things to that next level and doing it within a good budget so that the client gets the effect that they want and it's something that stands out.
Well, I love that. So the last thing that I always ask people is words of advice. So here we are, people are watching to the end, and what is something that we could give to them if they start applying this today? They'll be better tomorrow.
I go back to the Ziglar quote about, if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want. I've done that with my kids. Both of them are in, management roles now, but it's always trying to do something that you love and that you enjoy doing and that you can pass on and make other people better. And, fortunately, both my kids are in those roles now where they're starting to get a little bit older, and they've got people that they work with that they're trying to pass that enthusiasm on. My son works in environmental sciences and is part of a team that is actively working with environmental issues and soil erosion and things like that. My daughter works in healthcare and has a team that she's trying to constantly make better and be positive. And in this environment right now, both of those are very, very tough things to do, but you've got to stay positive and you've got to be disciplined and you've got to show that enthusiasm and keep moving forward.
Yeah. So I love that. And so I want to say thank you for being my first Back to Why Wednesday guest. So thank you. And honestly, guys, if you haven't connected with David, you need to, because he's awesome. And if you are in any of those what if, or you're trying to market and you're needing this stuff, phenomenal resource for you. So reach out, connect with him. You'll love it. You're welcome. And thank you guys for watching this week. We will see you next week. Bye.